Hey, good morning, my good people. Let's give thanks to the Most High for everything that we have, for that body that serves us so good. You know, the sun that shines, even if you don't see it. Yes, today is another day, alright? And recently I found out that all these machines in my rooms, they all running noise campaigns. My fridge is running a noise campaign. My washing machine is running a noise campaign. And my coffee, even my coffee runs noise campaigns. Yeah, and all the people gang stalking. I see everything that I can with humor, if possible, with a smiling way, like giving it the opportunity to laugh about it and not take it too serious. Yeah. You should take the most heavy things in life as if they are very light, and the light things as if they were heavy. I think this comes from Taoism. But Miyamoto Musashi, he had another saying that says, consider yourself lightly, consider the world deeply. All right. Yeah, here's the noise campaign from my coffee, which tells me it's finished, and I'm very thankful for that as well. And let's practice patience. You know the song Patience from Damian Marley and Nas, which is deriving from another song called Sabali by Mariam. It's a very good, both songs are exceptionally good. Yeah, I'll get my coffee real quick or real slow, and then we make this talk about noise campaign. No, gang stalking. No, about running and walking as a intellectual process or practice as well as a spiritual practice. And one thing I missed to say is that God that I pray to, give thanks to, nobody can exclude you from your God. You know what I'm saying is, you are the center of your own world. And I do not encourage you to think that you are God. This would be self-absorbed, and I think it's dangerous because it corrupts people to think they are God. But it is absolutely legit and necessary to realize that we have that divine spark within us. And do not let anybody exclude you from anything. If you let somebody tell you which God to believe in or not, you give this person too much part of your life. You're the center, right? So, I got the coffee. Alright, here we are. In the game. Okay, so running, walking, it's a spiritual and an intellectual process. Scientists, researchers, they said that people who are intelligent walk faster. This alone shows that, but it makes sense, this alone shows that there is a connection. Because, of course, if you have a process to do and you have capacity to do it in an intelligent way, it should be better than if you do it in a mindless, in a stupid way, right? Okay, where to begin? It's all connected as always. So, let me do it this way. You see, walking itself is one of the most basic movements you can do as a human being. It is deeply connected to our nature, to our ancestors, to the all our history, to our relatives, and it means to basically fall. When you make one step forward, you fall forward, and then you catch it, and you catch it, and you catch your own fall all the time. But there are different ways how to walk. You can walk balanced, so you don't fall. And you can get into these practices, walking bare feet. To be honest, I do not intentionally go outside and say, let me do a grounding technique. Now I connect myself to nature and walk bare feet. But I should do that more often. I do it when I'm on holiday, when it's sunshine out there, when it's hot, and I naturally do it. But I never do like, okay, now I intentionally go outside, walk bare feet. But I walk in bare feet shoes though, and I run every day if I can. Every day I run 10 miles, something like that. Sometimes longer, sometimes not. So I know what I'm talking about. I ran a lot of half marathons. I run all my life. And yeah, so let me begin with the content now. See, Julius Caesar, that emperor of Rome, he did very long walks, and he did this in order to be able to handle the stress and all the responsibility he had. He only could do it because he walked every day for a long times in order to think, in order to get into this mood that he needed to get to make the hardest decisions, in order to reduce stress, all these things. Nietzsche said in Götzendämmerung, the English title, Dawn of Idols. He said, what did he say? He says a lot of good things about walking. He does not trust any thought that comes while sitting. So I should make more videos walking, right? But I'm just coming from running. So he mistrusts any thought that comes from sitting, and Nietzsche values walking very much. He says the only true philosophy is possible while walking. And yeah, now we're going on. I feel now I'm ready to go into that content I actually wanted to transfer to you. While walking or running, it is a very harmonic process because it's like heartbeat, it's a rhythm. You synchronize breath, all the organs, blood flow, heartbeat, everything gets into a rhythm, and your brain halves, the right and the left brain half, are getting into a harmony because you have the motoric field, right, left, and it's crossed, the legs do a movement and the hands do a movement, and everything is harmonized and in a rhythm and very steady. Sorry, I keep the phone on today because my beloved children will soon come. And also the brain waves get harmonized and change in a very positive way. So it has, and I could talk on forever about this. You decrease levels of adrenaline, of cholesterol. I have the best ideas. When I come back from running, I have a new video in mind. I have a new idea in mind. I have the best ideas when I go running. And it helps to harmonize everything. When you work the whole day hard, physical work, and it's always disbalanced. You carry something on this side, you carry something on this side. You have to stay all the time in this position, and it hurts somewhere, You just go half an hour running afterwards, and it is so relieving for everything. You're sitting the whole day in front of your desk and doing computer stuff. Go running whenever you can, in the meantime, in between, afterwards. Running is always good. It is our most basic way of movement. Other good movement is climbing, because we monkeys, okay? Swimming is good too. And you can also, I'm just fooling around now. If you have fins while swimming, you can do this movement in the water. And this is reaching back to far back in our ancestry, because this is rather the movement of, fish or some aquatic animals. But climbing is very innate to our nature too, because monkey, you know what I'm saying, man? Yes, but running, jeez. Running, yeah. Check out, there's a good documentary, there's so much good stuff, but a good documentary about Eliud Kipchoge. Is a great man. Eliud Kipchoge. Okay, so running helps with everything. It makes you a stable person, but I already gave you that list. You can do research on that. There is more, but now I make a point on this. But why is not everybody running? Running, you need to have a functional skeletal and muscular and cardiovascular system. If you have one thing really dysfunctional in the whole line, ankles, knees, spine, whatever it is, if something is really broken for some reason or not, you have some problem there, joints, these joints right here, it might be the reason why you cannot go running. But I do not want you to give up on it. The body is highly adaptable. And David Goggins, he's a 190-pound man. He runs one of the hardest races ever, which is like 100 miles or more, probably more, through the literal Death Valley in America. It's one race. They run 24 hours, and he finished third. And typically in long distance runs, God, this is so annoying. The light people, the guys with 120 pound are the best, and this heavy guy, he finished third. So I'm saying his body has not been in this condition from the beginning. He was weighing much more, and he came from nothing. What I want to say is the body can adapt slowly, and even if doctors say you can't do it, still there can be a way. But be mindful and be in communication with your doctors if you do it, because it could also lead to problems with your health. If you especially check out your heart, your whole cardiovascular system, because it can be dangerous if you do the wrong stuff, right? So, okay, but what you can do is walking, conscious walking as well, of course. Walking is great. And why is it intellectual? I'm talking about running, but it applies the same way to walking, okay? If you run for long distances, at some point you might feel, oh, this part of my body hurts. A group of muscles, tendons, joints, something hurts. And then you can actively adapt your movement pattern in order to bypass this pain and overcome it. And by this you will develop different running styles that you can switch actually. And you get to know your body better. Especially when you go over your limits, when you do something that you thought you couldn't do, or you go through the pain, and then after the pain, you have anger management properties too. Right. When you go through the pain and afterwards you're running effortlessly for another half an hour, that's a great feeling. And how did you do it? By intellectually finding a way to overcome the problem, to harmonize your breath, to even go to different muscle groups, and you say, oh, this muscle hurts, I have to relax it in the process. When you make one step with that leg that is on the ground, you realize, I need to relax the other leg extremely. You focus on relaxing that leg in order to let the blood flow out. And then you relax the other leg that is in the in air, and you realize I had some unnecessary muscle tension while moving forward. I could relax it more. And then you realize it works. I can optimize the process. I can switch patterns. At one point you bend the legs while running a lot, and you get the energy from bending the legs. And then you realize, okay, I'm running slightly downhill. I can keep the legs very straight and just run with power of the hips and more action in the upper body. So you switch the energy consumption from lower body to upper body to relax the lower body for some time, and then you switch it back again, and you can do all kinds of stuff. And if you do it competitive, this gives you an advantage. If somebody just stubbornly runs, you have techniques. You say, oh, I have this problem, I know it, I can overcome it this way. I have this problem, I overcome it this way. And if you run the first time in a competitive run, these things will overwhelm you, and you will have to slow down very much in order to being able to even finish. But if you have method to your disposal, you can maintain the speed. And yes, you sorry. Yes, you get to know your body. Another thing I did is Wim Hof method. You can check it on the internet too. I might link it, description narrative. So I experimented with exposure to cold, and then at some point when I was comfortable with exposure to cold, I started running without no shirt in 0 degrees snow forest for 45 minutes or something. This was a great experience. And what I also did, and you can do it, you don't have to do it with the cold exposure together, but what I also did is, while doing this, I imagined being in a, let's say, prehistoric human situation of survival and hunting deer, hunting something. And by this, this is why it's also a spiritual practice. You can connect to your ancestors, to your back in your genetic history. The old hunters, they were hunting just running. It's one of the oldest hunting methods, just to outrun fucking animals, until they can't go no further. And it felt great. You get energy from this. You visualize something. You can imagine to run with a group of other hunters. You run with them in a group, and everybody is quiet, but you're running through that forest and you're spotting the animals. You can even imagine there is animals in the forest that might be also dangerous to you, and you imagine it in order to push your hormones, to get some adrenaline, to get some awareness, to be to get your senses super sharp. And this is genetical programs. You activate them. You connect to your nature, basically. This is the most fundamental situation, one of the most fundamental situations a human being can be in, is running in the forest, hunting and trying to survive in the jungle, Yes, people. Right. So, I must admit today I am a little bit in time pressure. So I stopped the video now, but I transferred some of the message, I think, and I have to go on now with other stuff, but probably I make another video, but at least I got it out. You got the message, we can do it, and have a safe day. Running, walking is great for you. One love, my people. One love, one people.